This is a short film about Alice Spiffy Chandler, who died in December 2008. Spiffy was born in Portsmouth in 1904, and her early childhood was happy. There were 9 children in the family, but at the age of 12 she found herself in a children's home in Bexhill, both parents having died, and her younger sister was sent to a children's home in London. She lost touch with her family until she was 15. When she returned, she went to live with her sisters Ivy and Violet. She then went to work as a chambermaid, and then as a waitress in a hotel in Southsea. There she met her husband-to-be, Jack Chandler, who was a guest, and she was serving his table. Spiffy wanted to go on stage as a singer and a dancer. She joined Madam Walker and travelled around the United Kingdom. She loved performing on the stage. After 2 years, Jacko had said he'd waited long enough, and the two of them married and then travelled around the UK and Europe. Just before the beginning of the Second World War, they moved back to the UK and lived in Rottingdean on the south coast. They bought a restaurant in Rottingdean, which they ran for several years, eventually selling on to my grandparents and then moving on to Boscombe in Bournemouth. This was the late 50s now, and Jacko went into the property trade. Jacko died in 1968, well into his 90s. Spiffy remained devoted to his memory for the rest of her life. Spiffy stayed in Boscombe for the rest of her life. She remained independent, but though in the final years she did need more and more help. She's quite a colourful character, in fact a very colourful character. So the rest of the film you'll hear her herself, and those of you who knew her will recognise some of her stories.
I'm just going to check the oven.
Okay. You go around that side, Donna. Yeah. Thank you. There we are. Thank you very much. Donna, you're going to sit on that one.
Oh, it's okay.
You're going to sit on a cushion with Mummy.
Hold it properly. Two hands, two hands.
So 2 weeks ago he walked down, as usual, and he passed a petrol station, forecourt, and crossed the road. He was not on the main road, he was on the side road, crossed the side road to get to the other side. And a car coming from the town towards him suddenly swerved to the right to cut up his road that he was on.
Oh dear.
And it knocked him in his legs, threw him up in the air, and he landed on the road. And she...
These people on the stage, hasn't it? My father
Close
plays
up.
quite as well as you. And I was right.
Yeah.
And they'd both been in the Navy. They both joined the Navy as musicians, not as sailors. But in 1922 I was going out with a boy who played the cello in the Navy. And he said the Navy now has its own music school.
Yeah.
And in those days they simply employed musicians for the troop ships.
All right.
And they'd have a big orchestra on that troop ship. And Father used to conduct the orchestra. Sometimes as well as playing. But he was a wonderful violinist and pianist. And they called Tubby because he was lump.
Okay, Donna.
He died of valvular disease of the heart and dropsy. Now you never hear of dropsy today because they've cured it. I don't know, but if they'd been a few years earlier, my father would have been saved.
Yes.
But he died at 52.
Oh, that's young, isn't
And
it?
my mother died a month before her 48th birthday.
Yes, darling.
That was 20 months before my father
Finish it?
died. And then, as I say, we lost our
Finish that
home.
one.
But what is a tragedy is, but by the end of the war we owed about £45 rent, if we had been there, but they seized it long before that. And that house was 8 bedrooms, 2 sitting rooms, a dining room, a music room and a drawing room. And all the antique furniture, because my mother would change furniture and buy antiques in its place. She was a great one for going to auction sales. And when I think of our home and my brothers coming back to nothing, because I wasn't there, where was I? I started this to tell you where I was. I was in a punishment home for girls. When I arrived there, 2 days after my 14th birthday. I couldn't go there until I was 14. And I arrived there 2 days after my 14th birthday to a convent where there were nuns. And I'd been there 2 days and I was reading the rules, and one of the rules said you do not discuss your past life. So I said I have 2 rules in life. Speak the truth, keep to the rules, you can't go far wrong. But I don't believe in rules you can't keep. So the one girl in the place that I disliked said, what do you mean? And I told her. So she said, what do you expect from a punishment home? I said, a punishment home? What are we being punished for? She says, you don't know, I can't tell you. Of course I wasn't being punished, but it was the only place they could place me. So I suppose the police did that. And that's why they sent me to St Mary's Hospital in Portsmouth until I was 14, until I could go to this place. I'd follow her, and then unlock the door and they'd say, go out and weed the garden. I didn't know weeds from plants. And I'd go out there. They were giving me the chance to run away, but what they didn't know, I'd have gone straight to the police station, because we used to go to the village church once a week. And that was English High Church. And we used to pass a police station on the way, and I used to think, if I ever run away, this is where I should come to, you see. But I did think about it, and I thought, why should I run away? I've got a clean bed, a safe home, a food, and I'm learning to cook.
Wine.
Oh, thank you, darling. Thank you, sweetie. And there's some orange juice here for her.
Yeah.
Okay, now you can hear the beep, it's recording now. So I'll get some of the house, I think. I know, it's windy.
Okay.
Thank you very much. It's marvellous. Thank you, dear.
Before you blow it again.
Take 2.
Yeah, then we will. Good luck, everybody.
Hey!
Very good.
Oh,
Oh, be careful.
careful.
And who's made this?
Jerry.
You made it, Jerry?
What?
Marvellous. Thank you.
It runs in the family.
That's maybe.
But give whoever a smaller piece if necessary.
Thank you.
Okay.
Go all the way down to the bottom. Piece is going through. I thought it's not going to get in. So
Not that it helped very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh no, I have to wait. I want to eat it now.
don't cut a piece for Donna because she doesn't.